Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Violet and my service dog in training's name is Atlas. He is a year and a half and he's a golden retriever. Today's video, I just wanted to go over some things that I do for him for enrichment. It provides some mental exercise for them, so when I'm having fatigue or if it's raining or for one reason or another we can't get out, I'll use some enrichment. So things like licking, sniffing, searching, chasing, even digging, stuff like that. But yeah, let's get into the video and I'll show you some things that I use. So starting off, oh, and another thing, it was my birthday yesterday, so hence the balloon. There's nowhere else that I can really put it in my room, so it's just chilling there. But it was my birthday yesterday, Friday, March 17th. So don't mind the balloon. And also for my birthday, I would just like to ask that you guys like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for my birthday gift. It means the world. I really want to build a community on the channel, and we're already at 430 subscribers I think now, and it's just crazy to me how we just keep on growing, and it truly means the world. Getting your comments and getting your questions, no matter how little or how big, always means the world, and I just love interacting with you guys. And yeah, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It's the biggest gift you guys could give me, and let's get into the video. But first, actually, some things that I don't have on hand are things like wrapping paper. I'll use that sometimes to just put some of his food in, or to put in boxes just to make it a little harder for him to get the food or the treats or whatever I'm using. Or sometimes I'll just use it to wrap up. Sometimes I'll just give it to him just to tear up. Of course, you always want to supervise your dog. If there's any sort of cardboard or anything that's terrible, chewable, you always want to supervise them, never leave the room. I always make sure he never like swallows anything. And then digging. As far as digging goes, the only place that I really let him dig is when we're out in the field doing a sniffy walk. There is a little pit of sand that they have just there, I suppose for like sandbags, because there is like soccer goals and stuff to keep them from blowing away. So sometimes I will let him go ahead and dig when he wants and roll around. If you follow our TikTok or Instagram, you've probably seen that he likes to eat sand. Doesn't really eat it, he just spits it out, but it's funny. He makes funny faces in the process. But those are some things that I don't have on hand. And with that, now I'll show you some things that I actually do have on hand that I use for him. First off, I have some lick mats, lick bowls, stuff like that. So, and his Kong. So here's a lick bowl, his Kong, and some lick mats. This is silicone completely, and this is kind of like plastic. I didn't realize it when I bought it. I got all of this stuff off of Amazon, by the way, except for the Kong. The Kong I got from Petco. I didn't realize that this wasn't silicone. Whenever I ordered it, it looked like it was, but whenever it arrived, it's plastic. Except for this part, it's a little bit silicone, but it's still overall like plasticky. It's okay, it does the job. I don't think I would really recommend it. Sometimes this part I think can be a little too rough on his tongue because it is so rigid. So I try to really just keep things in here and do like a light coating of whatever, like peanut butter or Greek yogurt. I notice he doesn't always completely lick off whatever I have on there, again, because I think it hurts his tongue. So I wouldn't really recommend this, but I would, however, recommend this. He loves this, I love this. I will put frozen yogurt and pumpkin puree on it, and I'll do it in like quadrants, so like frozen yogurt, pumpkin puree, frozen yogurt, pumpkin puree. I very rarely actually use peanut butter just because it is so fatty and I don't want it to upset his stomach, so I usually reserve peanut butter for like special occasions. But yeah, it has suction cups on the bottom and it's really nice. It is kind of a pain to clean sometimes though, because it can get in these little corners of the bones. But, you know, little elbow grease, it's worth it though. Would recommend. Got it off of Amazon. I don't know what it's called. I don't even know if it's sold anymore, but if you research or if you search lick mats in the search bar on Amazon, I'm sure that lots of options will pop up and you might see this. Again, I'm not sure. I bought this, I think, before I even got him, because I made a point to start getting supplies for him before getting him. So it's lasted a really long time. I would recommend, yes. Kong, of course, is classic. I had to get a bigger one for him, and he is a super chewer, so I had to switch from the red medium kind to the large black kind, because the black kind is for super chewers. Again, I also freeze stuff in this, so typically, again, I use frozen yogurt and or pumpkin puree. Sometimes I'll put like frozen blueberries, frozen strawberries in there, or even sometimes I'll just put a couple pieces of his kibble. I'm sure a lot more people are more creative than me. If you have any suggestions as far as like any other things that I can put in these lick mats or as Kong, or really any other enrichment ideas, please feel free to comment below. These are just some things that I do, and I'm always looking to add some new things to, you know, our repertoire of enrichment. So yeah, again, I put these in the freezer as well, and these in the freezer too, just because if I don't, they last like only a couple minutes, and when it's frozen it takes them a really long time to get out. So it's more rewarding for both of us whenever we freeze it. Moving on, we have puzzles. So this was a gift from my boyfriend's sister. It's come quite in handy. We've used it quite a bit. It's small, it does the job. I like it. It's easy to put food in. And again, all of these are from Amazon. Everything I'm showing you is from Amazon, unless if I say otherwise. It's just because, unfortunately, Amazon is like the easiest place to get everything. Especially where I live, there's not many like pet store options aside from the chain stuff like PetSmart, Petco. So yeah, all of this stuff is from Amazon, unless if I say otherwise. Another one that we have needs to be washed. Both of these Outward Hounds need to be washed. Is this Outward Hound puzzle. I really like this a lot. It's taken him a while to figure out. It has these little things on the side, so when they're out, these move, and whenever they're in, these pieces don't move. So he has to open them up in order for them to move. That took him a while to figure out, but I just started with keeping all of these things open so that it could easily slide and he could get all the food. It holds quite a bit of food. In my opinion, I tend to like things that hold more food rather than less, just because I do like him to have more time. The more time, the more energy, mental energy they expend, so it's better for both of us. But yeah, I like this. I recommend it. I think it's a level 3 puzzle from Outward Hound, again on Amazon. Our other puzzle is also an Outward Hound, and it is one that many people have seen before. It's like the brick kind. Also needs to be washed because we use them often. So yeah, as you can see, you can slide these. It has little like doors that open, and then it comes with these bones, these 4 bones that you put in the middle there. So they have to pick them up in order to get the food and in order to move these and continue the puzzle. Just to make it a little harder for him because he does go through it kind of quickly. This was his first ever puzzle that I ever got him. He's been using it since he was probably like 10 weeks old, like really young, really small. So he knows how to do this really quickly. He speed runs it. Sometimes I will put these upside down just because it makes it a little harder for him to grab. Both of these Outward Hound puzzles are very well loved, very well used. Definitely need a washing. Up next we have some of his like wobble. He has to roll these things in order to get the food out. So again, kind of like a puzzle. I would categorize it, I guess, as a puzzle. Is this? It's just a cheap little Amazon ball. You open it up. This splits into two. I don't know why. Again, used a lot. I use these more often than I use the puzzles, to be honest, just because I think he has more fun with them, rolling them around and getting the food out. I think it's really fun and rewarding for him, so I use it more often, and I notice it tires him out more, even physically too, because he's having to like continually roll and walk around to get the food. And it has this little middle thing. You can take out each of these levels. It has like flakes from his kibble on it. And then it has the bottom base. And yeah, he just rolls this around with his nose and it comes out this end here and he gets the treat. Or his kibble. I use his kibble more often than not. And then another thing that I finally got that has literally been on my list since he was a small puppy. One of these wobble guys. Don't really know what you call them. It's from Star Mark. Also, I also got this on Amazon. You put the food through the top here. Again, I use his kibble. It goes in through that little hole. You can close the hole to keep it in that space and put the lid back on, or I just keep that little hole open and it's on the top because I feel like it makes it a little harder for him. It is bottom heavy, so it is made to wobble, and then it has a hole in the bottom. You can make it smaller to make it harder for them to get the kibble out, or you can leave it completely open and it makes it super easy for them to get the food out. Again, all this stuff needs to be washed because we use it all the time. Some homemade things that I use are actually empty water bottles. If they have a wrapping like this, I remove the wrapping. And this, you can't really squish, so I don't really use these types of water bottles often. I tend to keep these to help train him with retrievals to get water bottles of different sizes. I like these like cheap, crunchy type of water bottles because you can crunch them once you put the food in there and it makes it a little harder for them to get it out. He has a lot of fun with these and it takes him quite a while to get the kibble out. Just a little homemade thing, so if you have water bottles laying around, you can use them for enrichment. Again, always supervise your dog if you give them something like that. Anything that's like plastic, paper, again, like I said in the beginning, please supervise them. You don't want them to ingest it. It can be very dangerous. Another homemade thing that I do that is along the snuffle mat route is using t-shirts, old t-shirts and old towels to put his kibble in. I'll just spread this out on the floor, put his kibble in it, slowly roll it up, put more kibble in between each of the layers, and then I'll tie it up, put more kibble in there, just so he can get a reward right away. And yeah, his goal is to get it unraveled, get all the kibble out, and it lasts quite a while with him. T-shirts are good too because they have that opening, so it's like, you know, can put the kibble in there and then you can tie it up, wrap it up, however you want to do it, and they have to work to get their food out. And then I have an actual snuffle mat. This is his newest one, and we've used it quite a lot. His kibble is very flaky, like I've said, so there's like kibble flakes. But this is a big one that I just got. It has like a flower with layers, so I put kibble between each of these layers, kibble all in there. Sometimes I'll put like his vitamins in here. They're little pockets that he has to get them out. Same with this. I try to get these to like close. It doesn't really work, but I'll put like treats or again his vitamins, even his kibble too. And same goes for this. But more often than not, I put his kibble in there because it's smaller and it's more of a challenge for him to get out. So they open like that and they open like that on each side. Again, on Amazon, it's the newest one that I have. It does the job. It is cheaply made, but I can't afford a lot, so it does the job. I had one for the longest time. It was his first snuffle mat. It was a round little snuffle mat. It was blue. It just looked like grass. And it was shaped like a bowl, kind of, but it has seen better days. And it's pretty smelly, so we don't use it anymore. So that's why I got him this one. Up next are things like boxes and Tupperware. I didn't feel like getting out a Tupperware piece, so I just got a lid. I use the lids too, especially if they have, you know, some space between them when you lay them on the floor. Boxes are good for sniff and search. They're also just good for, like, again, snuffle, especially if you put something like paper in there. I like to keep all kinds of boxes. It can be from Amazon, it can be a shoe box, it can be Curology box, it can be any sort of interesting type of box that you have. The more interesting, the better, in my opinion. So you can fill this up with like wrapping paper, or like if you have a gift bag with a little tissue paper, you can use that in there too, just to make it harder to snuffle out. You can even put a towel in there, you can put a t-shirt in there, or you can just stick the kibble in there and let them figure out how to open it if it has a lid. Same goes for like bigger boxes. I just have it closed like this just because we haven't used it, but you can make it harder by kind of overlapping it like this, not to this extent, but keep like a flap open. There's just all sorts of varieties that you can, you know, go with. If you have smaller boxes, I would keep those like boxes size like this, and you can do sniff and search. We haven't done it in quite a while, but especially when he was younger and it was during the rainy season here, I would get a bunch of small boxes and even Tupperware and Tupperware lids, and I would get his kibble, his vitamins, and put them into pieces. I would get treats, and I would hide them in boxes all around the house, even in like low shelves and underneath furniture and stuff, so he really had to sniff and work his brain. It's just about being creative sometimes, because I don't know about you guys, but Atlas can get bored if he's given the same things over and over again, so he kind of needs some variety every now and then, and I can't afford a new puzzle every other week, every week, so I kind of had to get creative, and that's just some of the things that I've done. I've tried using a toilet paper roll before, or just a paper towel roll and putting kibble in it. I don't think I'll ever do that again though, because he tore it up, and he gave me a scare because I thought that he may have swallowed a piece because he tore it up. So small, but to each their own, you know. I don't think I'll ever use a paper towel roll again, but I'll stick with boxes. Those are a safe bet. Then again, as far as like shredding goes, because shredding is enrichment as well, you can use gift wrap if you have any. You can use the tissue paper if you have any. Cardboard, pieces of cardboard, you can give them that too. But again, always supervise. I can't emphasize enough, always supervise when you give your dog something foreign like these that aren't made for dogs specifically. That's all that I have as far as enrichment goes and what we do. What do you guys do for enrichment? Do you do anything interesting or outside the box that I haven't listed here, or is there anything that you would like to recommend, or anything that you would like to add to maybe my enrichment list, just so other people can see, or so I can see, so we can bounce ideas off each other? Let me know in the comments below. And again, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It really does mean the world. And yeah, I just wanted to do like a sit-down video to show what I do for enrichment wise, because I do deal with pretty debilitating chronic fatigue, so it can be hard to get out there and go on sniffy walks all the time and exercise him. So enrichment is a good outlet for both of us. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it helped someone. I hope you learned something, or maybe I gave you a new idea. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Bye.